Ranging from a new city being hinted at to some new updates being teased, these are 25 secret areas in Loomian Legacy that you missed. Hey guys, LuckyHD here, and Loomian Legacy has a ton of secret, undiscovered areas inside of the game. And in this video, we're going to be using our free camp privileges to go and explore each and every one of these. If you guys do enjoy this video, go down there, like and subscribe, and let's get straight into it. So, for the contents of this video, we're going to be going through the entire Loomian Legacy map one route at a time and finding each of these secrets. Let's start out with the first one found in Gale Forest. If you head into Gale Forest, you will see a geyser right here. Upon looking up at the geyser, you can find yourself a gate right here, or what seems to be an archway. Now, this archway actually has a statue right here of a new Loomian that has never been put inside of the game. Now, there actually are more of these statues found inside of the game, however, we will be getting to those later. Now, past Chesswood Town, you can go right over here on the bridge and look all the way across the water and see an island over here. Now, if you actually head right over here to the island, you will start to notice that there is actually some grass here, meaning that whatever this place will be in the future, you will actually be able to hunt in. And there is also a Lumi box over here, which is definitely interesting because why would the developers put a Lumi box here if you can't get here in the first place? Now, going past the bridge, you will actually start to notice another geyser right here, and the geyser leads all the way up to this little fenced off area that includes more grass to hunt in and yet another Lumi box. Now, Sylvan City doesn't have much secrets, however, there is one if you go past this restricted area. Moving all the way back here, you can start to notice when you clip through this, the mom from the start of the game, for some reason, is just back here. Traveling down to Igneous Hollow, you can actually start to see there is a statue over here, which is very similar to the one found in Gale Forest. Now, obviously, this isn't really a secret, considering that it is right over here, on top of a pedestal. It is pretty interesting to note. However, if you start to look towards the right, you can notice yet another geyser right here that leads up top to here. Now, it seems that the geyser would actually lead right up here, where there is a walkway that you can go on that actually leads to a secret door back here that you could enter. Now, Highwood Village is actually a pretty interesting one because on the water over here, we can actually notice two caves on both sides of the bridge. And the only reason that I bring this up is Jolly Village actually had their Akalos cave in something similar. There was a cave on the water, and then they actually turned that into a physical area that you could go inside of. So who knows, maybe one day we'll be able to go inside of these caves. Now we move on to Sephiroth City that actually has some pretty interesting ones. Starting out, there are so many of these random gated off areas that you cannot access inside of the game. However, you can see right here that they each have doors on them, meaning that in the future, you will probably actually be able to go inside of them. Now, this is speculated to be actually apartments, considering that the Loomian Legacy developers have said that apartments will be in every major city. Once again, another gated off area up here that actually features a lighted up hallway that leads to currently nothing. If you go outside here, as you can see, it literally just leads to a little place that has some spikes sticking up out of the ground. Yeah, I have no idea what this is. Speaking of more random gated off areas, we have another one that actually has a door right here, which actually, when you circle right around to here, you can see a secret Pyramid text plastered on the wall. Now, I'll put the translation for it up on screen now, but this definitely is pretty interesting and definitely one of Loomian Legacy's most strangest secrets. Yet again, another secret area right here. This time, this one actually has a door right here, and there's another hallway with stairs that lead up to nothing. Again. Now, it's interesting because areas like these actually get turned into places, just like Gym Rats right here, which was added in a later update after Sephiroth City. So who knows, some of these other areas might actually get turned into things in the future. Route 8 doesn't have any notable ones, however, there is an island over here that actually features an oasis as well as some rocks. If we'll ever be able to go over here is currently undecided. There is also a cave across the water over here, and unlike the Highway one, this one is actually a lot bigger and more detailed, even featuring some stalactites hanging off the ceiling. Now, heading out to Lotusun Beach, there's actually some pretty interesting ones. Heading up here, this is actually a reference to Pokemon Brick Bronze. If you guys remember the lighthouse kind of area with obviously Tess's parents and where the Kyogre scene took place, this right here is actually the same area. Heading below that, you can see another one of those weird kind of like dog statue, or I guess Chinese lion, whatever this thing is, right? There's another statue right here inside of Lotusun Beach. And moving past that, there is a secret beach area that nobody can currently access. And strangely enough, there's a big red X right here. Now, how we will actually get over here is currently up for debate. The most logical way would probably be surfing, considering the fact that the water actually extends all the way over here and wraps around to the other beach. However, you can't unfortunately walk into it because the water gets too deep past this point. Now, one super interesting one that I actually found out myself was the fact that if you go right over here to yet another geyser, seriously, when are they ever going to use these things? They keep putting them in every update and never use them. Anyways, if you go right over here, you can can actually see there is a secret route gate right here. Now, this route gate is very special because unlike regular route gates, right, you know, we look over there, okay, there's a stone one. Regular ones obviously have like the regular kind of like painted on like plasticky look. This one, however, is tan, and it features some very interesting color bricks right here. Now, if you remember back to the PBB days, after Anthean City came Aradia City. So after Atlanthean City and obviously Latacen Beach, one could only assume that this right here is going to be the new desert route inside of Loomian Legacy. I mean, it just makes sense. Thinking about the entire fact that, again, Anthean City and Atlanthean City are connected, Aradia City is probably going to be in the same spot, and also follows the entire line of it being the 5th gym inside of both games. And some of the route gates, obviously like the Route 8 one right here, are carved out of the mountain right here. So one could only assume that this one right here was actually carved out of a sandstone mountain, or a sandstone wall, I guess, something sandy, considering the color is tan. Alright, now for Atlanthean City, there's actually a lot of stuff that we can read that might hint to some future updates. Now, NPC number 1, if you click on him right here, it says Atlanthean City has an underground electric transit for the residents to get around the city quicker, since most of us live along the outer perimeter of the city. Now, if you go right over here to this other NPC, you can actually read that there are a lot of hotels and apartments in the inner city where tourists have access. And basically what this is, you know, kind of referencing is the fact that we could be seeing a lot of apartments in the future update to Atlanthean City. Whether that's going to be inside of here or a new district is definitely up for debate. Now, something very interesting about Atlanthean City that I noticed is that there are a lot of these types of doors. Now, obviously you can't go inside of them. However, these doors lead to buildings like this right here. And obviously when you go inside these, you can actually see that there is another doorway that leads out to here. And this would presumably wrap around all the way over here and come behind these buildings and end up over here. Now, again, if we are ever going to be using these, we have no idea. This NPC right here actually mentions they have to carry a lot of trash by hand, and the trash is transported to a processing plant beneath the city. Now, I believe that there is also a reference to a sewer system inside of the game. However, either way, there is a confirmed area underground the city. And this would make sense considering the fact that Anthean City had the Anthean City sewers, and with this, they could have the Atlanthean City trash processing plant? I have no idea. Now, besides the fact that there are a lot of these random little trash areas that have dumpsters, you can actually notice, like I said earlier, there are a lot of these random doorways. Now, these doorways actually lead to places because if you go inside of it, you can see that there is a transition thing to go to another area. Now, why would a random door have a little thing back here that transitions into some other place, if obviously you can't even open them in the first place? And it's funny too because there's one there, there's one here, and also over here as well. Now, that is about all for all of the adventure places. However, there is one more that we still have to cover, and that is this boat over here. If you've ever head inside of the trader store, you might notice that there is a boat in the water. Now, this boat doesn't really seem significant until you realize that this is the exact same boat from Pokemon Brick Bronze's Port Deca, possibly signifying that we could be seeing a remastered version of that same area in a future Loomian Legacy update. So yeah, guys, go down to the comments below and let me know your thoughts about each of these areas, and if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to go to the like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.